Most people never start. They never write the book, they never make the film, they never do the thing that actually matters to them. And it's not because they don't want to, of course, but because they don't know how to defeat the thing that is stopping them. In all humbleness, I think maybe I found the answer.
Sometimes I feel like I really don't belong here.
Have you ever gotten so close to starting something? Maybe you even taken a couple of steps towards it, only to stop yourself at the very last moment? You're ready to publish, to pitch, to film, but then you hesitate. Like 1 second, you're ready to take the leap. But the next one, you're convincing yourself that, you know what, maybe tomorrow is a better day. I just need a little more time. Honestly, I've been there more times than I can count, and it's almost to the point where it's embarrassing. But then I found this little gem of a book, How to Fight a Hydra by Josh Kaufman. And I don't know, something just clicked.
Yeah, I had a dream once. I dreamed I was gonna train the greatest hero there ever was. So great, the gods would hang a picture of him in the stars, all across the sky. But dreams are for rookies.
So the book reads like a fable, where we follow a nameless adventurer in the pursuit of something more. He refuses to settle for a normal, boring, predictable life. He wants more. He wants adventure, risk. He wants to wake up to something, feel a sense of purpose. Sounds familiar? Well, maybe not the Hydra part, but the wanting something more part. Yeah. Against all warnings, he wanders off on his way to slay the legendary Hydra. The book opens with, "Adventuring is dangerous, but if I continue my present course, I will go insane. If I do not act, I consign myself to a life of regret." Lately, I've been having that creeping sense that if I don't move forward with the thing that matters to me, something in me will just die. And I know that if I keep postponing, keep hesitating, procrastinating, I will wake up one day and realize that I haven't been living. I've been drifting. I haven't been engaging with life. I think that's among my biggest fear, if not the biggest fear. Everyone wants a guaranteed reward before they put themselves at risk. The world does not work that way. Like, we want the certainty in life before we take the leap. We want the victory before we battle. But life, and what I'm coming to learn, that creative work as well, demands something different. It demands that we make a move forward before we know the outcome. And that is the scary part. That is what demands courage. It demands from us that we step into the unknown before we know the outcome. And that's what makes it a journey. That is actually, in essence, what makes a thing exciting, that you don't know the outcome of the thing. You have to just enjoy the traveling, the journeying, the process of it all. Because if we ruminate, if we think too much, it will lead us to inaction. It's better to just break that pattern and do it before we allow ourselves to ruminate. And the book actually says something good on this, of course. Your mind can invent horrors beyond those that actually exist. Rumination is not your friend. Action allows you to see the situation for what it really is. So overthinking is the Hydra's best weapon. The only way we can fight it is to move forward and engage with it. That's how we develop the necessary skills that we need in order to complete whatever mission we're on. Whether that's slaying a Hydra or finishing the outline of our next screenplay. I cannot control the outcome of my quest. I can only control myself, how I prepare, how I manage my fears, and how I conduct myself in the battle to come. I have so often been obsessing about the outcome. Will the project succeed? What will people think? Will they care? Will it even matter? And I realized that that has been nothing else than the perfect recipe for disaster, a creative disaster, because I end up abandoning my projects, never completing them, and just shying away from the thing that actually matters to me. So what I've come to learn, or at least trying to lean more into, is that whatever happens on the other side of us doing our best, that's not up to us. That is up to fate. All that we can do is to meet up, do the work, and let it go. Our nameless adventurer moves on, and eventually he approaches the cave where the Hydra resides. And then he, of course, reflects because the old familiar voice of fear creeps up on him. As I stand outside the cave, I'm forced to admit, I really don't want to go in there. I always have a reason to delay. I need to sharpen my sword, I need to make better torches, I didn't sleep well last night, you know, it's too cold, too windy, too rainy. All excuses designed to fool myself into avoiding the confrontation. I mean, if we ever think we've lost our creativity, we can just look at how our mind conjures up these wild fantasies, all in the service of helping us avoid discomfort and confrontation. As we read further, and this is a spoiler alert, folks, the adventurer slays the Hydra. But then he reflects a bit. When I returned home, I was welcomed as a hero. My parents were proud, my master surprised, and my friends boasted of my accomplishments to anyone who would listen. I enjoyed the attention and company for a while, but after a few weeks, it began to wear on me. I no longer needed validation or assurance. The struggle gave me everything I was looking to obtain. That line is so good. The struggle gave me everything I was looking to obtain. The struggle, the win, wasn't his biggest reward. It wasn't the fame, the glory, the attention, the actual slaying of the Hydra. It was the journey. It was the person he became while pursuing his goal. In other words, the real reward here is not in the goal per se, but in the person we become while pursuing that goal. It's not about the destination, it's about the transformation. Since my first adventure, I have faced many more Hydras. After each battle, I had hoped the next would be easier. It wasn't. So yeah, the struggles will never end. But once we have fought this Hydra, our first Hydra, we know how to defeat the next one. So, we all have Hydras, whether that's a dream or a goal or a passion, just something that scares the hell out of us. And that's natural. But I think just the worst thing we can do is to succumb to the fear and avoid confrontation with it. Because unfortunately, fear will never go away. Fear is there, it grows, evolves, it never stops. But the good thing is, so can we. So this book is a manual, a survival manual for whoever is tired of ignoring their true call to adventure. It's about learning to see the fight for what it is and recognize what is actually going on in the midst of the pursuit. And there's a fine little ending here. I've seen the lack of adventuring destroy more souls than a Hydra ever will. For every adventurer who has been defeated by a Hydra in combat, thousands have been defeated by their own minds and refused to face the Hydra at all. Not taking risks isn't safe. It's deadly. At least to our souls, right? Whenever we are dismissing our calls to adventures, we are in fact dismissing ourselves. So rise up, noble adventurer. Take up your sword and torch, explore the wild unknown corners of the world, find hidden treasures, and challenge the monstrosities that guard them. The world needs you. So, what is your Hydra? And now that you have the survival manual, are you gonna fight it?